The Pitt Expeditions introduced a few new foods as well as a secret drink. In this video I will tell you all about these new items, their effects and how to get them. Hello everyone, welcome back to another Fallout 76 video. The Pitt DLC brought a lot of hidden things, believe me or not, and in this overview I'm going to show you 3 new responders foods, 1 new buff and 1 secret drink, all live with Update 38 Expeditions. Now before I get right into it, I just want to let you know that you need to complete a new Responders Reborn mission at the Whitespring Refuge. I made a guide to clear any doubts already, so feel free to check it out. This part is crucial if you wish to unlock all the new foods, because they depend on Asma's daily mission recipe for success. And this daily will not reset if Responders Reborn is not completed. So that's why you have to do it first. With that being said, let's jump to the first new food. Let's begin with the Restorative Venison and Tato stew, a delicacy with medicinal effects. Now, to put your hands on the new foods, you cannot let Asma's stews burn. No. I know this is the easiest, lazy way to complete the daily, but for the sake of the new foods, you have to do it properly. So go ahead and collect all the ingredients, the meat, the carrots, the tatos, then the salt and pepper. If you find this daily annoying or difficult to do, I recommend using Maddokgrot's Expeditions glowing mod, which makes such ingredients shine bright in this purple color, thus making it much easier to do. You can get it at Nexus Mods for free. The link is below the video. It really helps. Now, once you mix all the ingredients, Asma will ask you if you wish to add a personal touch. That's where the magic happens. If you tell her you don't wish to add anything, no foods will be rewarded at the end. I did test as shown. Anyhow, for the special or personal touch, you have 3 options, and each one unlocks a new responder's food. First, the basic version, you can ignore that, and later, after the daily is done, you receive the real food with benefits. Now, if you choose a Steam pack, which is what I chose first, then once you complete the recipe for Success Daily, one of the rewards will obviously be the Restorative Stew. It's like a superfood, increasing health regeneration for 30 minutes and enabling a healing burst when you first eat this stew. I would say this is a very helpful food for newbies or new characters, but otherwise, for everyone else, it doesn't bring that much value, does it? Let's move on to the second stew now. What happens if you add the Psycho to Asma's stew? Well, I can assure you will be amazed with the result. At least I was when I first saw the unique effects. When you add the Psycho, you will receive a spiked venison and tato stew, which by the name alone doesn't sound very exciting, but hold on. Once you take a look at the stats, oh la la, what do we have here? This stew is on steroids, as it provides a 15% damage buff and 10 damage resistance, both for 30 minutes. It also restores 60 HP on usage. That's pretty useful and amazing, right? First, because it's not like 76 has a lot of damage boosting foods, and secondly, it will stack with all sorts of chems with similar effects. This is by far the best new food we got with the Expeditions DLC, at least for endgame purposes in my opinion. The last new Responders food is the spicy venison and tato stew, which is a direct result of adding spices to the mix as your personal touch. I'm sure you had already figured this one out. Anyway, this stew is the least impressive of the bunch. It doesn't come with any unique effects. I guess it's just good on the tongue. I mean, it makes you burn and feel alive, probably. I'm not sure how much spicy it is exactly. Anyway, the standard stats heal you for 60 HP as well when you first use it, and boost your charisma by 2 points. It's not the worst food ever, I would say, but it's definitely nothing compared to the other 2 stews. Anyway, let's keep going. Now the big question is, can you craft these new stews? I would love to say yes, you can, but sadly the answer is no. Nope, at least not for the time being. I looted all 3 new stews, I even used some of them after this footage. Sadly, the recipe never unlocked for me. I looked for the stew names on my recipe lists at a cooking station, and as you can see, none of them shows up. This doesn't mean Bethesda won't add the recipes for players later on, but for now, the only way to farm these special foods is by completing Esme's daily mission the proper way, of course. Besides the 3 new foods, there is also a new responders buff you can benefit from with update 38. It's called Communal Cooking, and the only way to unlock it is by completing Esme's daily with devotion. If you are aiming to get the new foods, then you will easily receive it. It's like getting both things in one go, so perfect. Actually, just make sure not to burn the stew, and that's it. Everything else will work, just not this one. The buff will auto pop once you complete the daily mission. Even if you decide to add no personal touch to it, that's fine, as I did here for testing purposes. I added nothing else, but the buff still triggers. The only difference here for the rewards is that you get no stew. That's reserved for any of the 3 options where you add something. Anyway, back to the buff. It's called Communal Cooking, as I said before, and it reduces your hunger and thirst by 25% for 30 minutes. Now, in other times when eating and drinking carried penalties, this buff would be quite expressive, but nowadays it's a bit useless in my view. You can perfectly play without eating or drinking to start with, so in the end it's up to you to decide how much value this buff can hold or bring to you the way you play. Finally, it's time for me to show you the new secret drink introduced with the Pitt Expeditions. Now, I'm calling it secret because first, it's really hard to get it, and secondly, not many people know it exists yet. So yes, it's definitely secret, maybe not as much after this video goes live, but anyhow, the new drink's name is Fussfungle, and it's a direct reward from one of the new random encounters, which spawns inside of the Whitespring Refuge. There are dozens of them, and it took me over a week to find it on the public test servers, so I can confirm it's no easy task. It's all about luck in the end, and I'm not a very lucky person normally. The random encounter you need to look for is this one featuring the thirsty refugee. Note that these new encounters show up in your MISC tab, so it's easier to track them down or understand what encounter spawns every single time. If you wish to try your luck, keep in mind that the encounters reset with server jumping or a mode switch or even character switch. Now, as the encounter itself, you can ask the refugee about his new drink, Fussfungle. Supposedly, it is a drink from the pit, and it's a very sweet one too. There's nothing alike in Appalachia either, that's why he wants you to fix a robot and get it going so he can drink Fussfungle again. There's quite a few dialogue options, as you can see, some for lore purposes. Moving on, the refugee will request you to fix the robot barkeep, and that's exactly where you can get your Fussfungle from. As soon as you fix it, no matter what option or action you choose, you will receive this new drink. However, the stats it has, let's say they are not the best ever. They boost your strength and charisma by 1 point only, and reduce your intelligence by 1 point. It's sort of a trait here. Now there's also a special effect. It's like an immune system boost. You will become 20% more resistant to diseases, and that's it. There's nothing else. I don't know about you guys, but for such a rare finding, I was expecting something more, something with a wow factor, if you know what I mean. But yeah, that's not really the case in here. Lastly, you can return to the refugee to complete the encounter, but don't expect any meaningful rewards. Alright, can you display any of these new responder foods? I surely tried. The answer here is mixed though. As for the new stews, it's not possible because they don't show up anywhere for display. I tried several times and nope, they are disabled apparently, which is curious since they have a pretty neat preview image already. As for the new drink, Fussfungle, you can definitely add it for display, but the question is, do you really want to do that? After all, it looks like an old dirty jar filled with feet water. But hey yo, let's not discuss personal preferences here. Let's not. At least there is something you can display, so that's good news in my book. I know it's not much, but the Pitt Expeditions introduced 3 new foods and 1 new drink. And most of them hardly add any endgame value, but there is this one stew, the spiked one, which is definitely worth farming for. That sweet 15% damage boost for 30 minutes is always welcome, plus it does stack with other buffs like camps, bubbleheads, magazines, perks, and other unique buffs. As for the rest, it's basic knowledge really. They are there, they are new, but that's about it. They exist, and I don't think a lot of players want to, farm for it. But what do you think? Let me know your thoughts on the new consumables below the video. As for me, I will wrap things up. I am Marta Branco. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to leave a like, subscribe, and go the extra mile to support my 76 content. A huge shout out to all my existing members and patrons. Alright, time for me to go. Take care and see you soon. Until then, take care. Adios. Bye bye.